Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear. I have Casey here with me. This is episode 3 of the Going Gear videos. We're going to do something a little bit different. I promise to finally get away from flashlights. So in this episode, we're going to show you how to fit a backpack. So we have a lot of customers coming in here. They have backpacks. They complain about how they don't fit very well or they're really uncomfortable. And a lot of times it's just a fit issue. You know, they don't have the straps in the right place. Nobody ever showed them how to do this. So not everybody has access to a store like this. You know, you can't go in and have somebody show you how to fit a backpack. So that's what we're going to do today. What we have here is an Arc'teryx Ultra 75, and that's the pack that we're going to be using. And this method is going to be applicable to a lot of different packs. So we've got a fit sizer here, and this is the one from Osprey. So we're going to use that to measure the torso. You don't need that; it just helps. But the pack, or this video is going to apply to any pack that has your shoulder straps, load lifter straps, sternum straps, and hip belt, which is pretty much every backpacking pack on the market. And honestly, the two big ones that you really need to worry about are your hip belt and your shoulder straps. Alright, so we're going to show how to fit this real quick. You need to be able to measure your torso. If you have one of these, it helps out a lot. Obviously, if you don't have a retail store, you don't really have access to one of these. So if you can't pop into your local store and get your torso measured, it's pretty easy to do yourself. This just makes it a little bit easier. So we're going to have Casey turn around a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do this. So what we're measuring here is the top of the iliac crest, which is on the side, the top of your hip bone. So that top ridge on there, that's what we're measuring, to the top of, or the C7 vertebrae in your spine. So when you lean over, that thing that's sticking out, that little knobby vertebrae, that's what we're measuring to. So top of that to that, and you kind of draw an imaginary line around your hip, measure from those 2 points, and that's the measurement we're looking for. So Osprey's pack sizer has a nice handy little thing that you take and use buckle on the front that also measures the hip belt, which is really useful. So you get the center point on the top of the iliac crest, and then lean forward and just find that C7 vertebrae, and he's right at about 20 inches, which is a medium, pretty standard. The average pack, if you have a medium or regular, is usually around 19 to 21 inches, depending on the pack manufacturer. So you can go take that off. So the fit method that we're going to use here is one that's pretty common. It's kind of a mix-up between the one that Arc'teryx uses and the one that Osprey uses, but it's going to be, like I said, applicable to most packs on the market. So one of the things you want to do, because you're not going to be carrying around an empty pack, because that's kind of pointless, is put some weight in it. So if you have some sandbags or even the stuff you're going to be carrying, you can just throw that inside the pack. But what we have here are some weight bags from Osprey. There's some 10-pound weight bags. So we're going to put, how much are we putting in here?
50 pounds.
50 pounds.
That's totally not acceptable.
Because this pack can handle a decent amount of weight, so we're going to put a decent amount of weight in here, because it definitely is useful to be able to see what it feels like with all that weight in there. So we have 5 10-pound bags that we're going to shove in here. See what it feels like. Alright, so we got 50 pounds in there. We're going to set it on the ground. We're going to close all the straps up. One thing to note real quick is when you're sizing a pack, one of the things you want to do is make sure all the straps are loosened up before you get going, because you want to start from a pretty loosened state. And that's all the straps that you're going to be adjusting in the terms of the fit. So your compression straps on the side and your lid straps and stuff like that, those aren't as important. You're more concerned about your shoulder straps, your hip belt, the lumbar, and all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and put the pack on, and a lot of people start with the shoulder straps, which you don't want to do. You want to start with the hip belt. So it's nice to have somebody kind of hold it up for you, because it makes it a little bit easier to get this going, especially you got 50 pounds in there. So you want the hip belt to be in the center of that iliac crest. So the center of the hip belt at the top of the iliac crest. So you get the center of the hip belt and you center it right on that iliac crest. You basically tighten it up as much as you can stand it, because a lot of times you should be able to slip your shoulder straps off of your shoulders and still have the pack be able to handle most of the weight just with the hip belt alone. So you get that nice and comfortable and tight, and the next thing you want to do is go ahead and tighten up those shoulder straps. So get those comfortable, and those are the two major things. So pretty much any backpack that's going to be able to handle a decent amount of weight is going to have both the hip belt and the shoulder straps at least. And a couple other things you want to do after you get that done. You have the load lifter straps, which you can tighten those up, and you'll see it'll pull the load closer to your back. So you can take the pack and pull it closer to you, and just make everything a little bit more comfortable. And as I'm hiking along, I like to mess with those because you get kind of a sore spot on your back. You can mess with those and just make it a little bit more comfortable later on. Pull it tighter, loosen it up, and just do that to keep things a little bit fresh. And then on the front, got the sternum strap right here. Clip that in place, and you can move it up and down. You want it, a little bit, maybe a couple inches below your collarbone, just to keep it comfortable. And what that does is it pulls the shoulder straps away from your armpits, just makes everything a little bit more comfortable. And you can tighten that up, loosen it up. It's another one of those things that I like to adjust as I'm going along. One other thing, let's go ahead and take the pack off, and I'll hold it up. So one thing I want to show you real quick is this pack actually has adjustable shoulder straps. Again, this is the Arc'teryx Ultra 75, one of my favorite backpacking backpacks. Yeah, this has a pretty decent amount of weight in it. It's like holding a fat baby. So this you can actually adjust the shoulder straps. You have the Velcro, you can move it around a little bit. You have some slots in here. You can move it right and left, up and down. And most backpacks on the market, especially the higher end ones, will have at least a small degree of adjustment. So you can move the straps around a little bit. But what you want to do is get the straps to the point where they're most comfortable for you. And sometimes that just takes a little bit of tweaking. Move it around, see what's most comfortable. But basically you want to get them to the point where the shoulder strap is making as much contact as possible with your shoulder and your back. But not so tight and not so uncomfortable that somebody can't slip a couple fingers under there relatively easily, because you don't want it so tight that's going to start cutting off circulation or anything like that. So just move it around, get it to the right spot for you, and try to keep as much contact as possible when it's going around the shoulder and going down to your upper back. Alright, so there you go. That is how to fit a backpack. Man, this thing is freaking heavy.
I got it!
So that was episode 3 of the Going Gear episodes. If you like it, please subscribe. We're going to keep on doing videos like this. Done a couple flashlight videos. This is a backpack video. We'll start doing knife, fire starter videos, all kinds of stuff. If you need a backpack, of course, you can buy one from us at goinggear.com. If you need a personal fit, please stop by in our store. We'd be happy to do it. If you don't want to do all this stuff yourself, we'd be more than happy to help you out with it. So again, thanks for watching. So as you're about to see, this is going to apply to any kind of pack. I mean, anything that has the shoulder straps, the hip belt, the sternum strap, you're going to be able to apply this method to any of those kind of packs. So you want to get the shoulder straps in the right place. You want to get your hip belt in the right place. Make sure everything's comfortable, because when you're hiking along, you don't want to be uncomfortable. It's really important to have a nice, comfortable pack on your back. Alright. Alright, so you're... What are you doing?
Give me a drink.
Alright, so as you can see, this is going to apply to any kind of pack. Anything, like I said, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
You got like...
Oh.